All right, looks like we're live. Let me restart this real quick. Looks like I got that dial-up internet speed. All right, bear with me. It's a little slow right now. Not sure why. Oh man, it's really slow. Let's see. Trying to load QQQ or Spy on here real quick. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. If anyone's in here, let me know if you got any chart requests. We can go over those first or after this overall market review. All right, so let's go over SPX. Hopefully it doesn't take forever to load. All right, so we got SPX here. All right, so the main level that we were looking for to hold today is on the weekly time frame. So if we go to the weekly, this level down here, pretty much 42.22, that's the level that we were watching for to hold, and it looks like the bulls came through for now. Um, but what I'm seeing here is we're still on a daily downtrend here. Ever since over here, daily downtrend, just lower lows, and we're trying to shape something up down here overall. And if I uh, zoom into the hourly, um, so actually I want to mention also, so SPX looks like this. We have like a uptrending pattern like on the 1 hour or 4 hour here. So we have a low there and then another low there. Uh, but on SPY it doesn't look like this. So that's one thing I want to mention there. Here we are building like 1 hour higher lows, whereas on SPX, uh, uh, I mean, we're building higher lows on SPX, but not on SPY. So on SPY, it just looks like a straight, drop there. So what I want to see here from SPY, and I don't know if we're gonna see this, but you see we have our 1 hour. Oh, this is 4 hour. Sorry. So we're also a daily downtrend on here, and I want to see on the 1 hour. We need to get over this high here. So tomorrow, what I'm looking to do is, if we open up, say up close to this level, um, up here close to this level, which is like 435-ish, um, looking a short, and right, at least for a scalp minimum, because we need to confirm that 1 hour trend change, right? So we're gonna have a 1 hour trend like this and change that with, higher lows. So that's what I'm looking for. If we open up, looking for a short, and if we're gonna open down, so as of right now, it looks like we're kind of flat on a SPX, but could turn green or red in the morning. So I'm kind of trying to draw a game plan for both. So if we open down, uh, possibly try to hold this low. So I'm looking to buy the dip at least for a scalp in the morning. So if we open up, looking for a short, and if we open down, looking for a long, pretty much is what my best advice is there. But on the downside, we have to be careful if this level breaks, right? And then we're getting all these headlines from Russia. So what can accelerate either the upside or the downside is going to be either we hear something like related to war that'll cause this to increase in volume and break down through that 420 level, which is the weekly, the must hold level that is holding now. But that one's less likely. Like I talked about in some of the other videos from the previous days, we're pretty much just tightening up, not in the way that I originally thought. So I originally thought, we might form like some kind of a triangle like that, with this level being the low, but that broke on Friday, and we got 2 days of follow through there. So this can still be pretty much tightening range like this way though, right? Some kind of tightening range. But definitely, it is also possible that we break down on increased volume and like maybe some bad news. But like the whole Russia thing isn't really like it's being priced in. We've already known about this for weeks. So um, if we continue to drop, I would definitely advise to potentially, once we do get some news, it might be a, you know, by the news event because we already know, Russia's already over there in Ukraine and whatnot. So, um, a lot of it's going to be priced in, and then um, any news might cause a bounce at some point. So I'm not saying catch a falling knife, but um, it might be a good idea to buy the dip at that point. But for right now, we're just worried about first things first. We need to change the hourly trend. So we're on a daily downtrend, and to change the daily downtrend, we need to change the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 1 hour, right? First. So we've already changed the 1 minute here, down here at some point. 5 minute is also uh, on an uptrend, and obviously the 1 hour isn't yet. So first, first place where we would start a trend change is right here. So that's our last high. We dipped a little bit, and now we have to get over 432 and probably 435, and then um, see some kind of a pullback and create a new higher low. And I'm probably not gonna repeat this too many times because this is what you're gonna see in most of the charts. And then to the downside, obviously this low here, if this breaks, that's gonna be bearish. So pretty straightforward on this one. 425, 86. If that breaks, then we're bearish. And there might be other levels closer to that. Um, but yeah, that's what we got there. And then NQ is going to look pretty similar. So this one is a little different than SPX. So we actually on the Nasdaq we broke the weekly lows by a little bit right there. All right, so we actually did break the lows and then we bounced, and then it doesn't look like that on the Nasdaq. Okay, so we've got this daily downtrend, same thing as SPX, and we're looking for another. The bears are looking for a short under this last high of 14,668. So sorry for the bad drawing there. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for there. Daily bounce of some sort. It doesn't necessarily have to get all the way up there. Just anything under this level will be bear. So if you're trying to play puts, anything on the Nasdaq, except for maybe like Apple, is gonna be pretty bearish. So let's look at QQQ because it does look a little different than this, where we actually did hold. So we held it by like a couple cents, right? In the morning, it looks like. Let's look at the hourly. So daily downtrend, same thing. And then our last daily high is 357. So that's the level that the bears, there's going to be heavy resistance before that or at that level. All right, so on the 1 hour, we are pretty much looking for for the same thing as SPX. So we need to get over this first level. All right, so let's see. Let's drag this line right there. Color it red. All right, and the first level that we need to get over, so that's the second level, 344, and then 341. That is the first level that it needs to get over. All right, so in the morning, you can expect something. If we open to the upside, looking to see what happens at 341. Maybe we get a pullback there if we're really weak. If the market's roaring right now, it's up 0.5%. So let's say it opens 0.5, that'll be maybe around there. To see if we can get a pullback there, or even over here, just expecting a uh, a 1 hour higher low. So that's what I'm looking at there if we open up. Short up at 344 or 341 for that 1 hour higher low to form, right? And then if we open down, we have this level down here, 334 that we can play off of, right? So this might try to form this 1 hour higher low the other way, right? So it'll come down and try to form it this way. So you got your low, higher low, creating stair step up. So that's what I'm looking at. Pretty much the gist of what I'm looking at for pretty much every chart. So uh, anything above 334, I'll be cautiously looking for a bounce before that or at that level. I mean, if it pulls back straight from there, yeah, maybe look for calls down there and just set your stop right at 334.14. That is the weekly level, right? Let me check just to make sure. Yeah, 334.14. So bottom fish that level or top fish these two levels. And at the end of the day, we're just looking for that daily lower high, which is pretty far away. So this can bounce pretty hard and still be in a bearish territory, right? This can bounce. Let's see, how much can it bounce? Let's get our measuring tool. This can bounce, let's see, 5.6% and still be technically bearish, right? So bulls have a long way to go to turn this thing around. First things first, gonna start with that 1 hour trend change. All right, so QQQ and SPY looking for the same thing, with QQQ being a little more bearish than SPY, and overall, uh, as I mentioned in the previous videos, we're just looking for this. We're just in this tightening range, so we're gonna see a lot of chop, a lot of this, right? A lot of fear, and then all of a sudden, so we had this fear drop, right? Super, everyone was scared, you know, what the heck's going on, bear market, and then we just zoom up back to that level, for example, in what, 3 days, right? And then we're getting back, oh, we're gonna get a break, all of a sudden fear, right? Everyone's scared of the war, right? So that's the kind of environment we're in. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we zoom up for like 2 days up to that level and then look for a another low to set somewhere under there. Um, what would be notable for me for as a bull for the bulls would be if we were able to get over that 357.09 level. That would definitely be uh, bullish for me, right? If we somehow get over this level, depending on how we get up there, right? If we just go straight up, shoot up a couple of percents, um, that wouldn't be super bullish. But like, let's say we get up and then set a quick daily lower high, that might be a little more bullish, you know, setting up a nice trend upward, not just a quick shot like this, right? So this is nice in the short term, but then, you know, you need to pull back and then fill all these gaps. So it's not really a good way to do it. So if anyone has any charts, I see some people are in the room. Let me know. I'm gonna start going through a couple names that I have here. Um, I guess I should go over Bitcoin because it seems like Bitcoin's been making a move, and then the market seems to be following after that. So it's a little weird why that's happening, or at least that's just what I'm looking at. So we got a bounce there like today, and now we're kind of pulling back there. So I wonder if we're setting that like, so Bitcoin's like 4 hour is like QQQ's 1 hour. So yeah, it's kind of setting that. You see, this is kind of the same thing with our lows there. So so this is pulling back. So I'm guessing the market might pull back as well, unless overnight we can confirm that on Bitcoin it's a 4 hour. So 4 hour trend change overnight, and then the market will open up maybe. So just keeping an eye on this, see if that kind of correlation keeps going into tomorrow. All right. So maybe we get a bounce somewhere quickly here and go to the upside. All right, so let's move on to Tesla. So for Tesla, I'm gonna tell you what I think for for tomorrow and a little trade review on this one. All right, so pretty much same thing. Daily downtrend. I know that's the 4 hour, but there's a daily downtrend, and then this is holding that weekly low, 792. That was a must hold level for the bulls, and it did hold today. Today we got just a dump, and then I guess Biden started talking, and the market just went up. But I don't think what he said was too bullish. Um, but that's a different opinion there. But yeah, 1 hour downtrend, and we need to change this trend here. So same as the other ones, uh, QQQ and SPY, as you can see, and the levels for this one is 831 initially, and then we have this level up here at 856, around 852. This has been a important level there. All right, um, so yeah, same thing, and then to the downside, under 800 psychological, that'll be bearish, and it needs to hold, must hold this 792 level uh, to be even thinking about calling this uh, bullish, right? So if it were to break down that level, that would be a little bearish, noticeably bearish action, and we are getting some kind of a increased volume here this today. So that's also something to note there. More than, you know, more than we've had for a couple weeks up to this point, right? So we need to break this 1 hour trend change. All right, so the trade review for today is we were looking for either same thing that I'm explaining now, right? Lower high compared to the last one. And we got that in the morning. We got a nice little pump in the morning in the pre-market, I think. And like to start the day, we got a little pump. All right. And this one was actually pretty easy. So you've got your level there, the 1 hour level that I just mentioned. And then you've got a 5 minute high here that wasn't able to get over that level. All right, so now that's got me interested in a trade, and it dumped and then tried to get over that level. It actually did get over that level, and now you've got your low marked here, right? Line in the sand. If it gets under that level, then it's going to be bearish, and if you're conservative, maybe under this level, 827. But yeah, I just jumped in right at that break of this level, I believe. I'm not sure how I signaled this one in the chat, but there might have been some other smaller pattern on the 1 minute. There might have been like a, so this is how you formulate your patterns, right? So you've got that overall bigger trend on the 1 hour, and the 5 minute, it's got a double top. And you've also got this little, let me zoom in here. If I make the chart bigger on the 1 minute, you've got your bear flags, right? So all of those things combined can tell you, you know, this thing's probably going down pretty good today, right? So 1 hour, you're looking for that lower high, 5 minute double topping up there, and then you've got, you know, bull flag after bull flag. You know, you could have got in anywhere on these levels on this break. So this one was a pretty easy one to catch, right around 830s, mid 830s. Um, and it just continued down all the way to 800. So $30 move you could have caught on this one. 30, 40 if you're really aggressive, maybe 50. I wasn't on really looking at the computer at this time because I thought we were going up. So I was not really interested until I saw it that it was coming back down. So luckily I caught it right around here, 830, 838 I think is where I got in. So caught this one for puts, and just a little trade review if anyone's interested in the way um, think about getting into a trade like a A plus setup trade. All right. So I had like three uh, green green lights to go, right? 1 hour double top and the bear flags there. All right, so from there, let's move on to Netflix. All right, so let's zoom out to the one day chart. I think I had a decreasing wedge somewhere. Okay, so there's that gap. I think I talked about this one yesterday. So yeah, and all those names, I was looking for that 1 hour low, kind of what I explained. We just dropped over the weekend, so I was looking for a bounce, and pretty much same thing here. Actually, this one's a little different because we had this wedge, so I was hoping it could hold this wedge and maybe move to the upside or a break, which we did get, but I didn't trade this one today. Had enough gains on Tesla, so wasn't looking to get into much else. So for this one, went to the 5 minute. Let me go back to the 1 hour. So we have that falling wedge, which usually, so you see here inside of that wedge, we're just getting a bunch of chop. Not really any clear, not really any clear like, you know, any clear pattern in here. It's just a bunch of chop, right? You've got lows that break up and then back down. Just a bunch of chop in that area, and we get breaks of this 860 386 level, but not much follow through. You see here it broke right around here, not much follow through. Broke right around there, not much follow through, and then we finally broke it today, right? So this green candle didn't have much follow through initially in the morning, and then we got a little bounce, and same thing, uh, lower 1 hour lower high, and then we finally broke decisively, right? So this is going to be the same as the other ones, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and give you the levels. So we need, first things first, we need to set a higher low above this number here, 384, and eventually this one up here. Let's see what this is. 384, and then we must hold the low of today, 373. 373 to remain bullish. And what you're looking for is on the 1 hour trend change, right? Same thing as all the other charts. All right, 373, 384. Keep an eye on those levels for a rejection or a bounce. So let's go to Square. Not sure why I marked this one. I haven't traded this one in a while. So 1 hour lows. This one seems a little weaker than all the rest. You see how well, not weaker, seems different, a little different. Let's see if we broke. Maybe, oh, maybe I marked this one because we broke the weekly the weekly low, yeah. So that's why I marked it. All right, so this one's completely different, okay, than the other ones. Not completely different, but somewhat different and more bearish. So maybe that's why I like this one here. So we've got our daily downtrend with our high here, lower high around 120. And I think what I'm looking for on this one is is a bounce at some point, maybe up to 100, 102, wherever this congestion is, and short this level right here, 102, 100, 102, any of those levels, looking to short there. Calls, I'm not looking for calls on this one, guys. Don't like square at all for calls. You can play calls, but not looking for calls on this one on my end. Um, so I'm looking for a bounce close to 100 and looking to short on this one. Let's go to Raytheon. So with all this war talk, you never know. Um, obviously not hoping for war, but I do see a pattern on this one, a bullish pattern. Um, so that's what I see on this one. So what I'm seeing here is a bull flag on Raytheon. Just keep an eye on this one. Let's see, anything over maybe, let's say 95. Anything over 95, that might be your break. This still is in uh, bull flag territory, right? And you can see that by it's still holding the 38%, holding above that. So that's definitely bull flag territory. And let's do that again. On the downside, anything, if this pulls back any more under 92, I would say, decreases the chances of this being a bull flag. And then this is on the daily, so it's been chopping around between 96 and like 92. So maybe stay within that range, and anything over 95, start looking for calls. Um, and puts, I'm not really interested really in this one too much unless it has a nice break with some volume, and most likely will be with some news to follow this one. All right, so that's Raytheon. Just a quick one that I would mention, not really, not a high probability one, I would say, because this is a daily bull flag. So who knows how this will break, right? What would make that break? Another one from today that had earnings, and apparently, I don't know, they said something bad, is Home Depot, because it looks like the earnings was green. They barely beat the EPS, and then they beat on revenue. So they must have said something along the lines of, inflation's cutting into our uh, bottom line coming up or something. I don't know. I have no idea what they said, but all I know is that it had a bad reaction. All right, and this one has been a little bearish. Had this head and shoulders, broke the neckline back and at the beginning of the year. Bear flag, another bear flag, and now it's down here. So let's let's map out some levels. So let's use this line. So it's kind of holding this 316. This one would have been a good one to short today. I don't know if anyone in here played it, but like I said, I was kind of entertained with Tesla, just adding on the those little bear flags and just maintaining that one. Make sure it didn't bounce on me or anything. Um, so we've got this resistance here, 324. And then let's map out another level to the downside. All right, so this one might be a better one. This one down here. Yeah, 314, that's more of where it bounced. So let's see if it can hold that level. Let's see if there's anything. Yeah, that 314 looks to be pretty good, right? Touched a couple times, 314 area. So there's a zone of demand down there, 314. Let's see what we can see on the 1 hour. Let's look at Roku. Yeah, that's a good one actually. Let me look at Roku after this one. Because I think it did have a pretty crazy bounce. So what I can see from this one, super weak. We got a little dead cat bounce. And pretty much what I'm looking at on this one is maybe get a little more bounce. 324 would be nice, and then short it at least back down to 314, right? At least 314, trim some there, and then see if we can get some continuation to the downside. Lowe's has earnings tomorrow, so if they do bad, then Home Depot is going to follow that. So keep an eye on this one. Anything under, so keep an eye on this little bear flag. Anything under 312, that'll be bearish. So I'll put a little alert for this one. And then to the upside, not interested to the upside on this one. Um, only thing I'm interested in is if it gets up here, I want to look for a short. So I'll put an alert there, but not interested in any calls is what I mean. All right, let me look at those real quick, and then I'll go to Roku. Since these two are related, I don't want to come back to Lowe's afterwards. So kind of same thing here. Little bear flag, and the earnings is um, pre-market, so we won't be able to, catch it beforehand or anything unless you got in already. So let's mark some levels. Let's see where this topped out. Maybe here. So maybe like 210. That's like a solid number, 210, where it stopped today. And looks like, what did I mark over here? Not sure why I marked that. So, oh, that's the 50 retracement. So 207. Okay. Another level would be maybe like this one here. 209, 210. So we'll see what happens with the earnings. At the end of the day, this is on a 1 hour daily downtrend. So any bounce under 225 will still be bearish for this one. So it can get all the way up to 220. Maybe look for a short 220 or 216 for this one if it does manage to go up, as long as the earnings isn't like super spectacular or something. Um, Pretty much maintaining this bull flag. So we'll see where this opens tomorrow. Not too sure. This could jump or dump. So anything under 210, that'll be bearish. So let's go to Roku because this one had earnings last week, I think, and had a huge drop, huge rip. And I know some people were asking me about it. I think someone, so Cash, did you have puts on this one? Somebody had puts on this one that joins these meetings. Anyway, what I mentioned to them is that they should probably take profit around 112, looking at that 112 level. But this did end up pulling back to 100. So I said anywhere between 112, 100, take some profit and maybe leave some runners. Um, and yeah, that's what I mentioned there because I knew we would get. So you guys got to realize this, right? We have this huge 1 hour downtrend, right? So we need a bounce at some point. Same thing with the market. That's why the market's bouncing. It's not bouncing because there's any good news, nothing like that. It's just technical. Uh, technical, the reason why it's bouncing, right? So this huge downtrend, we got a little bounce. We set a little downtrend, and now we're trying to make our way back. But if you zoom out, this is nothing still. This is still super bearish. All right. Look at this on the daily. Like this is a bear flag on the daily. On the daily, all I can see is this bear flag forming right now. All right. So still bearish on Roku for now, right? We do have this gap that might fill at some point, but that doesn't mean that it needs to fill anytime soon, right? You see how Netflix still has that huge gap. And I think if I looked at the hourly, I kind of saw like a double top there. Uh, little briefly, so to keep this 1 hour uptrend going, we need to get over this level, right? 127.22. We did get over it, but there was no follow through. So now this has me interested in looking for puts on this one. All right, so this one's pretty crazy. So you guys got to be careful with this one. But I would say that under 119.21, if we manage to break under that, that'll be bearish, right? Bearish in the sense that it had a double top and the 1 hour trend will be broken, which then you would zoom out to the 1 day chart. All right, so all we're looking for here is a 1 day higher low, right? If we break that 1 hour, uh, that last 1 hour high, which was this 119 level, so then you zoom out, and the reason I say bearish because to start an uptrend, you're gonna need a um, daily trend change. So low, higher low, and then try to make your way up to fill that gap, right? So this is gonna be looking for a uh, daily, daily trend change soon. A daily higher low. Sorry, that's what I was trying to get out. Daily higher low, right, guys? This has bounced 27% from the low, so it's due for a pullback. And this is actually one that I'm gonna mark on my you had puts. Oh, you had the puts. All right, cool. Did you end up selling, or are you still holding? Because this is gonna still come down tomorrow if you're still holding. This will be interesting for you to see if you're gonna get a bounce. Just sell everything there, or maybe not. This can be just chopping around 100 for a while. Um, you could either hold to see what happens. So this can do either one of two things. Look for a quick 1 day trend change, right? Or it can have that day trend change and maybe get above this level, but kind of stay like this. So that would be a bear flag there, right? And depending on how far out you are on puts, um, might be worth the wait. But this one is super beat up. I don't know. That's why I feel like whoever was in this needed to get out down here in one of these 2 days. So so I think this was all the same day. Yeah, that same day after the earnings, maybe get out because this was gonna bounce just because of how beat up it was. But yeah, in the short term, looking for that 1 hour to break either up or down. So anything over 127 bullish, and then anything under 119 bearish, while looking for that daily higher low. So that's what I got For that, holding March 4th expiration. When is March 4th? So that's like in, when is that? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? So you've got some time. Um, I would say if it pulls back, it's gonna pull back um, for that daily high or low. But I don't know if it's gonna get continuation. It definitely could, depending on the market, right? So see if this pulls back to there, or tightening range, bear flag, but that'll take some time and to play out, right? At least a week or two. So who knows if your expiry will be good enough for that break of a potential bear flag. But first things first, the hourly. I'm looking to play that hourly to the downside. Anything under 119.21. All right, I didn't really zoom into the 5 minute. There's probably some kind of a double top on the 5 minute as well. So, um, but definitely that 119.20 will be the break you want to see for puts. Let's see. To let's go to Mara. So this one's oh shit. My headset was beeping. I was pressing something. So Mara. This one's attempting like a daily trend change here. Um, it's attempting a weekly trend change because it changed the daily. Changed the daily. Can you guys still hear me? I don't know if I mess with this headset. Um, yeah, I'll go over UPST. I haven't checked that one. Actually, haven't traded that one ever, I think. So we'll take a look. We had a daily trend change, and then now we're losing the daily trend change. And I think you can see here, we rejected off of this resistance here, 31. All right, so this is going to be same thing as the other ones with the daily, 1 hour. Looking for a 1 hour trend change to shape up back to the bulls. All right, so we're looking at this level down here. So we filled that gap and then down we went. And even before that, we need to get over this level here. We haven't established any double bottom, so this is still looking bearish to me. So we'll see tomorrow if we can come up to 23, 28 and get rejected, or 24 and get rejected. Um, and the reason I say that is because we still need to form higher lows on the 1 hour. So have this come up to 24 and form a 1 hour higher low. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for there. If we open down, that's bearish for sure. So we need to open up on this one and then establish that higher low. But this one's going to depend on Bitcoin, I think, and it's down 1% right now. What do we say with Bitcoin? So for this one, keep an eye on Bitcoin. It probably has a similar pattern. Short up there at 24. Cautiously short up at 24 because this hasn't established any 1 hour 1 hour uptrend, right? Well, kind of, but not really. So this still needs to pull back at some point. So if you're patient, wait for 24, and then you're gonna get a nice little downside on this one. All right, so what's the one? UPST, UPST. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people talking about this one, but I don't even know what this is. Upstart. Oh, this one had earnings, right? One of the days had a bullish earnings. All right, so with these bullish earnings, you definitely want to short at some point, right? So pretty good earnings, the huge gap, and then like for me, always you look at the daily, the 1 hour. So daily had this level up here, couldn't even get up to it. So that was one red flag. So let's go down to the 1 hour. We'll probably see another red flag here in a minute. Lost the 1 hour. Yeah, so got up and it lost the 1 hour trend. Okay, so red flag number two, lost the 1 hour uptrend before that daily resistance. So here was your last 1 hour high. All right, you got a little bear flag there, and then it broke under that last um, 1 hour high. So that's where I would have got in conservatively speaking, right around what is that, 140, right? That was your signal for puts on this one. Um, and now it's just on a 1 hour downtrend, guys. Bear flag, kind of a bear flag there. And then another double top. Couldn't get over that last high there. When was that? That was pre-market today. Couldn't get over that last 1 hour high at 134-ish level, and down we went. And now it looks kind of like another bear flag there. Sorry for the messy drawings, but kind of looks like a bear flag there on the 1 hour. So that's what I'm seeing with this one. Pretty much bear flag there. And other than that, I can't really see much other than there's this gap. All right, so the gap is at 109. So still $10 to go on a $120 stock. So that's, I don't know, maybe 8-9% or something. So it can definitely get back down there. Let's look back at the daily. So let's look at the 5 minute, see if we're changing the trend on this. Yeah, we're still not. We're holding this level. So I would say tomorrow, pretty simple statement. If this breaks under 119.40, this will be bearish. Be confirming that little, it's not really a bear flag, but same theory here as a bear flag. So maybe look for a little initial jump, and if we definitely can't get over 125, then I can see this coming down depending on how much it jumps, right? If it does a little bounce like that, I can see it coming down under 119 to try to fill that gap. I don't know if it will. Like I said, I don't really follow this one, but yeah. 5 minute is lost. So yeah, your best bet is to stay on the hourly. Right, same thing as the other ones pretty much that I mentioned. So you got your two uh, hourly levels there, 125 if it can't get over 125. Good place to short, right? If we do open up, 125, look for a short there, or up here at 134. But first things first, this one, if it can't get up, break of 119 will have it looking bearish, and then probably a gap fill here at 109, if I had to guess. Let's look at RSI. RSI is at 39, so yeah, this still has room to the downside, guys, on the 1 hour. For the daily, all right, we're technically still in a daily uptrend. All right, so even if this pulls down, not the end of the world. So we've got our low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then if we form a higher low either at 119 or even this gap fill, this is still bullish in the long term. Mid to long term, I should say. I don't know about long term. So longer term. So, you know, if it loses 97, then that's where you should definitely start to worry down here at 97. All right, so this one, downtrend on the 1 hour, but the daily still holding up. And I think this one was a good one to trade. Now that I'm looking at it, I had a nice tightening pattern here from what I can see. Too bad I didn't really follow this one. So I had a little tightening pattern, broke up during earnings. So that was a good one to catch. But yeah, hourly downtrend. Watch that hourly downtrend on this one. That's all I got for this one. Any more requests for me? If not, then that'll probably be the end of the video. Pretty much same thing on a lot of names. You guys can look at it after this video. It's going to be the same thing as QQQ or SPY, where we're looking for that 1 hour trend change. All right. If something already did a 1 hour trend change, that's a little more bullish, whereas QQQ is probably the least, not the least bullish, but still looking for that 1 hour trend change to either open up and then create it like that, or down and then up, right? So if it opens down looking for calls, opens up looking for puts, and pretty much the gist of what I'm looking for tomorrow on most names. So good luck everyone, and remember, this is not financial advice, but just recommendation of what I'm looking at, and hopefully that can help you out, guys. So see you guys all tomorrow, and good luck out there.